let's take a quick look at the Cassandra query language. Cassandra query language is abbreviated as CQL. We need to understand the Cassandra database structure first. The Cassandra database management system is hosted in a cluster. A cluster has a group of computers which appeared to be one single computer to users. In a cluster, there are key spaces. A key space is a database. Within a database, we have tables. Within a table, we have rows. For a row, there are columns, and a column is the most basic unit of data for Cassandra. CQL is very similar to SQL. Here are some high-level differences between CQL and SQL. CQL does not support the data control language. It does not support the transaction control language either. The data control language is used for managing permissions. The transaction control language is used for processing transactions. Here are some common characteristics which are unique to CQL. For Cassandra, a table must have a primary key. When we run an insert or an update statement, we must specify the primary key in the where clause for filtering. Cassandra uses an append data model. That means whenever we run an insert statement, if a row is already in the database, then the row is updated. If a row does not exist in the database, then the row is inserted, and this is based on the primary key value. When we run an update statement, if a row is already in the database, then the row is updated. If a row does not exist in the database yet, then the row is inserted in the database. Again, this is based on the primary key value. When we query the data, we use the where clause, then the column we use in the where clause must be indexed. CQL does not support the OR operator. We need to use the IN operator instead. CQL does not support joins. Lastly, there is a very powerful feature of CQL and Cassandra. That's time to live, or TTL. It's very powerful but difficult to use. Whenever a column data is changed, Cassandra will insert a timestamp. Timestamps are used by Cassandra for resolving the data change conflicts. Cassandra uses an approach called last write wins. Sometimes we call that LWW. Here are some commonly used data types in Cassandra: integer, decimal, text, varchar, date, time, and boolean. There are many other data types which are also available in Cassandra or in CQL. We can even define our own data types. Here is one example. A user-defined data type is based on the basic data types. Now, let's look at some code example of CQL. To create a table, we use create table. To alter a table after a table has been created, we use alter table. To look at the structure of a table or the definition of a table, we use describe table. To put data in a table, we use insert. To query the table data, we use select. To update the table data, we use update. To remove the data from a table, we use delete. We can see CQL is indeed very much similar to SQL, though there are some differences. This is the end of our discussion.